I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little girl, them. And I'ma tell them where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state. And of course, as always, I'm upset.
Maize and Blue Nation, it's Tom Brady. I co-founded Autograph with one mission in mind: change the fan experience for the better. That's why I'm excited to announce the release of a new app that recognizes the biggest Michigan fans. The Autograph Fandom app gives you access to the best Michigan content, fan challenges, and exclusive rewards for diehard Wolverines, all for doing the things you already do, like listening to this podcast. Head over to the Apple App Store and search for Autograph Rewarding Fans and download today.
Phil, you're muted. You're muted, I think. Yeah, I can't hear you, man.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good now.
All right, cool. Good evening, good people, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is I, the Maze Madman. Jim didn't do it. Phil Peters. That is him. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Refs versus Lakers Part 2 for Vel. I am reporting live from Jim's deluxe apartment in Ryan Day's head. Let's get into this thing. By the way, it's episode 30. Don't let this up here fool you. That's just the background I haven't changed in 3 episodes, obviously. Episode 30 of the Maize, Blue, and Gold show. Ryan, 30 shows in, man. Can you believe that?
That is crazy. I did change my name, by the way. Marcus Burton for Naismith already.
Oh, already. Huh?
Yeah. Dropped almost 30 points in his freshman debut. Best player in college basketball. It's not close. Seth
missed you, Ryan. You were missed here.
Didn't you see me yesterday? I appreciate it, man.
Tell Ryan I'm ready to join the Vagabond League. Oh, man. So before we get into that, because we will get into that, let's start here. Will the Big Ten suspend Jim Harbaugh? And if they do, what is Michigan's answer to that? Obviously, we're going to post this question for those in the comment section too. Feel free to answer. Make sure you hit the like and share button. Subscribe if you haven't already to both the Maze Madman channel and to Week 0. By the way, little for Vel in the back there, Ryan?
Yes, it is. Yep. Babysitting tonight. So
absolutely get it. Shout out to that. Family time is always the most important. But Ryan, what do you think? Does Jim get suspended here?
Yeah. I don't know if the Big Ten will do it, but the NCAA will.
Okay. Well, if the NCAA will, though, that's like going to be.
I don't think it'll be
before the end of the year.
I think it'll be before the end of the year.
The NCAA.
I think the NCAA gets this done before the end of the year. I think they've got everything that they need. They're just kind of waiting a little bit. But my thing is, with the amount of pressure that the Big Ten, or not just the Big Ten, but the amount of pressure the Big Ten teams are putting on the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think the Big Ten is in turn going to put that pressure on the NCAA to handle it. Because I don't think the Big Ten wants to do it. Because like you've said, if the Big Ten won't do anything because Michigan makes the money. But I think if the Big Ten can be like, hey, NCAA, you take it.
Right.
I think they'd love to do that.
So my take is I definitely don't think the NCAA gets this done before the end of the year. Number one, because according to the rules, Michigan would have 90 days to respond to the NCAA, which would put this even further. The season's over. So even if they did that tomorrow, Michigan could, just delay this thing until the 11th hour, right?
Mm.
So there's that. I think there's a greater chance that the Big Ten does something than the NCAA for that reason. You know what I mean? Like for the reasons I've been given, that there's pressures on Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, to do something from the other member institutions. But it's going to be hard for him to do it, as I don't know if you saw, Michigan has already responded to even the threat of a suspension. Santa Ono and Michigan respond with a 10-page letter. They've hired apparently like the ace law firm in the state of Michigan already. So I think they're ready for this thing to get ugly. What's your thoughts on Michigan hiring a law firm and responding with a letter already?
Are we sure it's not the same law firm that leaked all this stuff?
Right. Well, that wasn't a law firm. Apparently, it was a investigative. But I'm sure it was hired by a law firm. Those firms are always closely connected.
I'll say this: I'm surprised that Connor Stallions didn't turn whistleblower after he got let go.
Bro, see how big a fan this dude is? Just a fan.
No, I know, but like, think about it. Like, I don't care how big of a fan you are. If I get fired, especially if he was sent out to do this, which is what's rumored, and I get fired because you all got caught, and I was sent out.
But that's the thing. He got caught.
Yeah, that's
number one. And then secondly, the NCAA has given, I don't know if you saw that, but Yahoo Sports, the AP Associated Press reported that the NCAA has already handed the Big Ten their preliminary findings, and they had nothing connecting Jim Harbaugh to the ring. So that's already been discovered, right? And like, at least to this point, obviously this is ongoing and something could happen.
What evidence would they have if this was just like a in-person thing? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's why it's going to be so hard. Now, the NCAA can levy punishment even if they don't necessarily have a smoking gun for Jim Harbaugh, right?
Yeah, they can punish based off of lack of knowledge within your program.
And exactly. It's like lack of institutional control, right?
Yeah.
So the NCAA can do that, but the Big Ten cannot. There's no bylaw for the Big Ten to do that. And Tony Petitti, as a commissioner, only has so much power without the rest of the member schools. Now, granted, the rest of the member schools want Michigan's head. So I don't think getting votes would be a problem necessarily. But let me get to the comment section really quickly, and we'll get back to this. We have the lawyer from Washington, D.C. Crazy. Yeah, we've lawyered up already. We would have definitely leverage in the ACC. They're in trouble. We boost their prestige. So I want to get to this because my guy Antoine did bring this to me, and this is part of the reason that we're even discussing Michigan leaving the Big Ten. The ACC is not the Big Ten. I want to be very clear. It's not the Big Ten in terms of the money it makes, the money it generates, and stuff like that. Now, granted, if Michigan were to join the ACC, they probably have a better chance of landing a TV deal that is more to the liking of Clemson and Florida State. I also think that would require like participation from Notre Dame.
Dude, can you imagine if like the ACC flipped the script on the Big Ten and the SEC, and they're like, hey, instead of our schools leaving to you guys, we're going to take the schools that you guys want. Michigan, Notre Dame, they joined the ACC. That would be crazy.
That would, but I still think it's a pipe dream, especially for Michigan. And it's a pipe dream for Michigan because they are already involved in these newly signed, multiple, by the way, TV deals regarding Fox and CBS and NBC. The money required just for Michigan to get out of those contracts would be astronomical. Out of that TV deal. I mean, by the way, the Big Ten might be in breach if Michigan were to leave. So the lawsuits would be crazy. The Big Ten's probably would sue Michigan. Those TV networks would sue the Big Ten and Michigan probably. So I just don't think it's realistic. I do think now, if I'm Michigan, though, it's got to be on the table. if some like punishment is levied that we don't think is fair, right? So if they say, hey, Jim, you're done for the season and Michigan can't participate in the Big Ten championship, I think that's absurd, and Michigan should, give some choice words and bounce. And lawsuits be damned. But I think that's, again, less than likely. But let me...
Dude, it pays to be an independent. We don't have all these rules and regulations to follow. We get to do what we want.
You guys are still trying to work out a contract too, and Michigan already has that.
Well, no, because NBC is being...
Yeah.
Because they didn't have anything.
They want to force you into one of these conferences. Yeah.
No, that's what they want.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why NBC kicked us off of prime time. Unless it is against a Big Ten opponent or US.
Right.
That's why USC counted this year.
Right.
So that's why I think it's so dumb. It's like, okay, fine. Like if I'm Notre Dame, like this isn't like as a fan, but if I'm Notre Dame, I'm like, all right, screw you, NBC. We'll go somewhere else. Because Notre Dame could go to CBS or Fox and go get way more money than what they're getting from NBC. You don't think Fox would love to have Notre Dame football? You don't think CBS would love to have Notre Dame football? I mean, the nice thing about being independent and having the deal with the ACC that we do is because we get paid the same amount by every other ACC school, but we don't have to be in the conference and we don't have to follow the contractual obligations of the teams if we were to join the Big Ten.
Hold on. Tell us why you're upset. I'm upset. I'm upset because Michigan could be facing some sort of punishment in a year where Michigan is clearly, in my humble opinion, the dominant team in college football. I know there's going to be Ohio State fans that disagree because they watch their team through rose-colored lenses, right? The SEC is the SEC. I wouldn't expect them to agree. However, if you are unbiased and you watch football, then you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I am upset for that reason. Now, I want to get to Antoine's comment really quick before we move on. I don't know if but Fox is getting a new president and he's a Michigan alum. That's great. And I think it would have been greater if this had happened before the contracts were signed. However, if him being a Michigan alum doesn't take away the fact that he is now working for this network, and his job is to bring this network the best, revenue, right? Like that's his job now, is to make money for Fox. And it would be fiscally irresponsible for him not to sue the pants off of Michigan and the Big Ten if Michigan were to go in breach of that contract and leave. That's you know what I mean? The point.
Job over alum. That's what you got.
This time half is paid for championship game, take scholarships, football. I'm okay with this right here, actually. I like this right here. I can deal with this. I've not seen Melo number 7 yet. Nah, I haven't seen Melo yet either. Did you see Isaiah report Michigan? It's already posturing to part ways if they have to. I mean, again, I at the beginning of this, I said I would do that. They should do that. By the way, hit the like and share button if you haven't already. Let's get some more voices in here. Please leave. Join Notre Dame. Don't let the door hit you. The derriere going out.
What is he talking about?
Like, I don't know. It's some Ohio State fan, I'm sure. That sounds like I could tell it's Ohio. It reeks of a cesspool.
Well, Goj said the forced way to force Notre Dame into a conference is not scheduled, and nobody's going to do that because like this thing is like people eventually no one's going to schedule Notre Dame. That's not true. Notre Dame makes teams so much money when they play a team. Like Ohio State Notre Dame was the most viewed college football game this year so far. You know how much money that made Ohio State just for playing that game? A shit ton of money.
They're not making money based off of the networks are making. That's where the networks are making their money. The money, the networks have already paid their money out, right? They already paid Ohio State and Notre Dame to play the game. I mean, for the seasons basically. Yeah. But the networks are benefiting from that game doing the numbers it did now. That's their money.
Yeah, my point was just Notre Dame is one of the biggest brands in college football.
Absolutely.
They will always
There's
have an
no question
appointment to
about it.
play. Yeah.
There's no question about that. The problem though is that I don't think it's so much in Goj. I think it's just off base, just the tad, because I don't think these teams not scheduling Notre Dame to play forces them into a situation more so than these networks force Notre Dame into a situation. As Ryan has already alluded to, and myself, in NBC has already taken them off prime time.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing, some Big Ten power, right? Because NBC, it works out for NBC more if Notre Dame joins the Big Ten. We cut this one big check. Notre Dame has to split the part their revenue out of this big check we already cut to this conference, rather than us paying this big conference and paying Notre Dame independently.
That's the thing is like NBC, they're being, and so for people that know, Notre Dame's new athletic director, he will take over in January, right? His name is Pete Bavacqua. He was the president of NBC. He was one of the guys that was he was the main negotiator with the Big Ten Conference for the new media deal that they got with NBC this past offseason. He has spoken that when he gets to Notre Dame, he's very pro NIL and he's very pro Notre Dame in a conference because he's also a Notre Dame alum. So if it was ever going to happen, it's going to be when he takes over.
I think that's a possibility. I do think Notre Dame will end up in a conference, but not because they want to necessarily. I do think it will be forced on them by a network, whether that network is NBC, who they've had this relationship with forever, or whether it's Fox, who they may sign with in the future. Whoever it is going to try to pigeonhole them into a conference just for the sake of money and saving it on their end. And go ahead.
And what I've heard is that if Notre Dame even does join the Big Ten, they want to keep all their other sports in the ACC, like where it's currently at.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the Big Ten will allow a football only membership from Notre Dame.
I'm pretty sure they would. I think the Big Ten would allow that for Notre Dame. For Notre Dame only, by the way.
Okay.
By the way, if you're Notre Dame, why would you want the rest of your sports in the ACC?
Because basketball has a historic thing. Like they have a historic rivalries with a lot of teams in the ACC, old Big East. The only thing, Notre Dame hockey is in the Big Ten, which I don't know, Phil, if you're a big hockey guy, but Notre Dame Michigan's a big rivalry.
Yeah, I am not a big hockey guy, but I do follow, I
actually got to see Notre Dame versus Michigan hockey in Notre Dame Stadium a couple years ago, and that was awesome.
Crazy. I want to address this. Rick Pat sounds. I don't. Anyway, leave. No one wants your. I'm going to assume that you are a fan of the other state, and I'm going to assume that you. Clearly, a lot of people are making comments like "leave," right? And I get it. It's emotional. You know, even Michigan fans, it's emotional for us. But bro, if Michigan leaves the Big Ten, what is Ohio State gonna do? What team over there? Now, granted, I will say this: they are getting USC, Washington, Oregon, and UCLA, so they might be okay. But in terms of draw, I mean, it's just Ohio State for that area of the country anyway. So I think it hurts Ohio State specifically the most if Michigan leaves, in terms of who would be hurt. Now, granted, I think it hurts Michigan as well. Let me be clear. It hurts Michigan because they don't also have that kind of gravitational pull of Ohio State. So both of those universes help each other in massive ways, by the way. So not having that rivalry game every year would be devastating to both programs, in my opinion.
Yellow Blackbird said Michigan goes independent.
Yeah, I think
That
that's what Antoine was alluding to when he said we'll join that vagabond
that
traditional
would be
new Michigan
that,
Sports Network. Look, man, against Ohio State, it plays the final. I mean, this could happen, right? In a perfect world, but I think again, the litigation gets in the way of that and anything like it. It's not necessarily not having the infrastructure to do it or being worried about infrastructure to do it. It's about people and networks and their money. That's the problem. But we got to move on. We can't spend all night talking about that. We'll touch back on it. I promise. Was Sam Hartman a waste for Notre Dame? Ryan, I'll let you
yeah.
go.
Like I said, give Sam Hartman some credit. Dude fooled all of us. Came to Notre Dame, got himself upwards of $10 million
Ryan
plus
needed
in
some humble
NIL
pie.
deals. in NIL deals. So he got his bag. Congrats to him. Didn't do anything for Notre Dame besides get us in the spot where we were 3 seconds away from beating Ohio State. Yeah. Good luck in the NFL. Probably going to be a 7th round pick. Probably undrafted. Lucky to make a practice squad.
Oh my God, man.
Dude, I'm at the point now where you start Stephen Jelly the rest of the year. You just
All right.
see what he's got. There's nothing to play for at this point.
I mean, I just think this is funny because the beginning of the year, you were arguing me down.
Phil, you can vouch. I was one of the biggest Sam Hartman defenders you would find on the internet.
Absolutely. And now you are ready to throw this man in the garbage can for Steve Angeli.
Yes.
Insane, bro. He was here we go. He was a sub 500
against good
he was
teams.
sub 500 against good teams. Not great. At the end of the day, other Big Ten schools tried to run a side on us. Now we're running our own on them. It will get ugly. I do agree it will get ugly. Petiti doesn't need to do anything but send the Zebras from 2016. Damn it, man.
Goj, Goj, I was with you, man. We had a brutal schedule, but you can't go lose to Clemson. You can't lose to Clemson.
Notre Dame has one brutal schedule. Man, I don't know, man. I think you guys live on that. Our schedule is brutal. I mean,
I'm
look,
not anymore. What are you?
No, I'm just saying for years that's been like the Notre Dame thing, right? This year you guys did play Ohio State, and last year you played Ohio State.
Yeah.
But this year, man, I don't think that schedule was. Now, granted, I got to give them some credit for this part of the schedule when they played all those night games, those primetime games.
Yeah.
Against ranked opponents, by the way,
who were all undefeated at the time that we played them.
Is Duke is a basketball school. We know that.
I mean, they had a healthy Riley Leonard, and they were a lot better than they are now.
Riley Leonard or Sam Hartman?
Riley Leonard. Dude, I'm at the point now where you give me Graham Mertz over Sam Hartman.
No way. No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not.
Dude.
You don't believe that.
Oh,
man. All right. Let's
seriously, what are your thoughts on Sam Hartman? I mean,
yeah, I think it was a waste. I think you should have kept your 5-star sophomore quarterback, developed him. But again, this is hindsight and it's 2020. At the time, especially after those first 3 games, I told you this last night. After those first 3 games, Notre Dame was running a fine-tuned machine, and they looked like a well-oiled machine that was like the offense that Michigan wanted to run to that point, right?
Sam Hartman was out here looking like Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but their offense looked like, Jim Harbaugh's dream offense at that time. Of course, since that Ohio State games, things have changed, not necessarily for the better. But you obviously the competition wasn't great. Petiti's Michigan versus Ohio State game is going to be a meaningless exhibition. It would be better to end it after this year. damn it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, with the Big Ten going to no divisions, it lends itself. Could you see there? I spoke with like my aunt about this, who's a big Ohio State fan, by the way, because everybody else in my family is. But there's a situation, a circumstance where it could be Michigan, Ohio State play that game the last Saturday in November. Then they turn around, play each other in the Big Ten championship, right? And let's say they split those. They go into the game undefeated. They split the game in the Big Ten championship, then turn around in a 12-team playoff, and they could potentially see each other again. That's a problem for me. I think it waters down the game. I've spoken about that. I don't like that part of it. What do you think about it?
I think we talked about this actually when it was announced. What QB will be starting next? CJ Carr. He better. Dude, no, seriously, CJ Carr better start. I mean, Sam, it's got to defend Sam Hartman. What dude? First time starter. Personally, like what I seen. Dude fought that second half against the other state and was tearing them up. It's there. I liked it. Yeah,
I mean,
if
well, he's
said,
like been in
go watch
for 11 years
from the Ohio State game on. You go see how bad Sam Hartman played. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's something mental with him, but dude, let me ask you this, Phil. Do you? Because I'm in this boat. Hartman's not coming back next year.
Right.
You have nothing to gain for playing him, with the exception of going to a meaningless bowl game, right?
Yeah.
You got an unexperienced quarterback in Stephen Jelly, who will be a junior next year, who hasn't seen much playing time outside of garbage time. And the few minutes that he's played, he has 7 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and 400 yards. Okay? In limited time. He's looked better in that offense than Sam Hartman has and looked more comfortable. Do you see what you've gotten him going into next year? Because you have nothing to lose at this point.
Right.
Or waste opportunities for him to start to give to play as Hartman. Because my thought process is our next 2 games are against Wake Forest and Stanford. How much worse could our offense be with Ian Jelly in there instead of Hartman? You know?
I mean, I'm with you on that. Like I agree with that point. It's not like you're playing for anything other than a bowl appearance that at this point, I mean, I guess it could still be a New Year's Six bowl, but I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm more interested in this right here, though. I would like to see, and they should make this happen, LSU versus Notre Dame in one of these bowls, whether it's the Pop-Tart Bowl or whatever bowl game it is that they play, and who wins the Brian Kelly Bowl between LSU and Notre Dame? Ryan, go ahead.
Notre Dame. I don't, whether it's Sam Hartman or Stephen Jelly.
Doesn't matter who's the quarterback.
Hell, it could be our walk-on quarterback, Dylan Devison, or whatever the hell his name is.
You just refuse to say.
We would never lose on a field against LSU. We have better athletes. That's just a fact.
Hey, bro. Stop it.
Plus, we know BK can't win big games, so yeah.
The Mayo Bowl for LSU and Notre Dame. First of all, I disagree with you in the better athletes part of your argument. Secondly, Jaden Daniels is better than all your quarterbacks.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. Logan Diggs is not better than Audric Estime. That's why he transferred to LSU, because he couldn't win the starting job.
Neighbors is better than all of your receivers.
That is true.
Okay.
Their offensive line is terrible at LSU.
All right.
Our defensive line is really good. Our DBs locked up Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh my God. All right.
No, seriously. I think I like this comment by blank name. He said, "I would not say it was a waste. He just isn't Russell Wilson like a lot of Notre Dame fans thought he was."
Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
you
a
know
lot
what?
of
Hartman's
nobody
played
is,
like
but
Russell Wilson last year in the last like 6 games.
last 4 in a row. If in the ACC or SEC, best weather all season. I mean, that's true. I will, and if I was Michigan, I would want to be on the road those last
What
three,
is
4 games. Actually, no, I don't. Make them come to the big house in the snow. What am I talking about? What am I crazy?
what
Make
is
Bama travel to the big house in November.
Justin said Sam Hartman or McCoy? Who is he talking about?
Are you talking about old Texas quarterback McCoy?
I'm confused.
If that's what you're talking about, give me McCoy, by the
Yeah,
way.
Colt McCoy all the way. I still think if Colt McCoy doesn't get injured in
more
that
than 2
national
games,
championship
nothing at
game,
all. Tony will have to go after Greg Ryan and Jeff too. It's a good point. OSU
the
QB
OSU quarterback. Oh, I mean McCord.
McCord.
Honda
Oh,
McCord.
you
Give
mean
me
the Honda McCord?
Yeah.
Oh, give me Sam.
No, dude. You do not want Sam, man.
Give me Sam over the Honda McCord, man.
You know what's crazy? And I'm starting to flip my script
Just
here.
legitimately
Notre
good.
Dame almost beat
The
Ohio
rest of the
State with
little
that
10.
trash quarterback.
Stop running to the side. He called him the little 10. Shout out
Little
to
10.
Steve Jones. Right. Make the SEC come north. Nah, for sure.
No. Make the Pac-12. Like, this is the thing with the Big Ten. You guys let all these Pac-12 schools come in there, right?
Right.
And you like, hey, you guys don't have to come here in November. That's not fair.
Well, that's not completely true. I think Oregon is playing in either Michigan or in Columbus in November.
No, but that's Oregon's not as affected by it as USC is. Like, that's not fair. Be like, oh, USC, you ain't even got to come out east.
I agree.
Like, bro, what?
They should definitely be out here
like,
in the elements.
I don't know. Is it with the Big Ten? Or are they just like, well, USC, they're gracing us with their presence, so we're gonna go out of our way to make things easier for them. Like, that is
54-17. I would love. By the way, Michigan we need to drop 50 on the heads of that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. It needs to happen. Ryan, what's the cutoff date
playing
at Notre Dame? Yeah, what is USC's cutoff? You guys have like an agreement with them too, right?
Like November.
It's like October.
6th. No, it's November 6th is the cutoff. Like, we usually play them either the last week of October or the first week in November.
Yeah. Either way.
It's not Sam Hartman, it's the wide receiver. No, dude, I can't. Like I said, I'm not blaming the receivers, man. I'm not doing it. We have 4 and 5 star receivers like everyone else. You can't tell me all of them are trash. That's a very that's a very low probability of that being the case. So
let's get to this next topic. Games that could affect the CFP. These are ranked teams versus unranked teams this week. Oh, that's not the right one. That's not the right one either. All right, it's down here.
Having technical difficulties, Phil.
Right. Miami is at Florida State, number 4 Florida State. I think Florida State's like a 14-point favorite. I do not like that spread.
Rivalry game.
I mean, it's at Florida State. Do you agree with the spread of 14.5? And does Miami pull off the upset?
Miami doesn't pull off the upset, but I think it's a close game. I take Miami in the points, but I think Florida State's better. But however, watching Florida State against Pitt last week, where they were riding the struggle bus for 3 quarters against a terrible Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, that just seems to be the Florida State way.
Dude, I'm starting to think this Florida State team ain't that good. Like,
I mean, well, look, they didn't have the number 1 or number 2 receiver in that game.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they didn't go into it 100%, but I get what you're saying though. I will say that. Here's the next one. Michigan State, poor little bro Nim, travels to Columbus to take on the number 1 team in the nation, according to the CFP, Ohio State. Ryan, I think this is Ohio State is a 31-point favorite. Do they cover?
Give me a little Bronem in the points.
Yeah.
Ohio State's not covering that.
Michigan State just pulled off a upset win
over. Who they beat? Nebraska.
Nebraska, right? In Nebraska, right?
Bro, what if Lil Bronem upsets Ohio State?
If by the way, okay, give me the floor for a second, because I need to talk to the Ohio State contingent here. Listen to me, and listen to me good. I mean, where's my remote? Listen to me. If y'all, and I'm talking to you, Ohio State, if you allow Lil Bronem to come into Ohio Stadium and walk out of there with a W, I don't want to hear anything about anything from you. Do you hear me? Nothing about nothing. Don't talk to me about sign stealing. Don't talk to me about Jim Harbaugh. I don't want to hear cheater anything. You lost to poor little Bronem. That is it. That in fact, I'm gonna go a step further. We should look to excommunicate you from the Big Ten if you lose that game this season. That's how strongly I feel about it. Don't lose that game. Do not lose that game. First of all, I'm going to be unbearable. I'm going to tell you that right now. You do not come back to this channel if you lose that game, because you will not hear the end of it from me personally.
So if that happens, is Ohio State officially a Lil Bronem to Michigan State?
Exactly. If they lose that game, Ohio State is Lil Bronem's Lil Bronem. They put you under the wing. No way. Don't talk to me ever.
little nephew.
I'll take little lady under the table and enjoy. Absolutely. MSU 31, Ohio 28. You know, little bro come in with some surprises sometimes.
Well, what was it? Didn't they beat Ohio State what was it, a few years ago when Michigan State was terrible and Ohio State was like top 5? And remember, Michigan State hit that field goal and the kicker did the thing running down.
Little nephew.
Hey, bro. MSU will be Ohio State's big bro.
Oh my God, man. Hey, and you know what? Now I want that to happen. I want that for you. I want that. Where's Goge? Where Goge go?
Yo, you know
Dylan's in here. You're gonna get it. I want this for you. I want Lil Bronem to win that game because it is over for you. And I'm dead serious when I say you guys should leave the big. Join
the FCS. There we go.
Hey, you guys gotta go join Wazoo and Oregon State in the Pac-3.
And you know what? If that happens,
because it's over for you.
No, hold on. If that happens, Phil, Ohio State needs to go create a little conference for themselves, right?
Baby,
with they need to go create a conference with Oklahoma State and Oregon State, and they gotta prove and earn that title back about being the real OSU. That's what they gotta do.
Yeah. You guys get relegated. That's what happens. You lose that game.
The real OSU if Ohio State loses to Lil Bronem. Is it Oregon State or Oklahoma State? That's what we got to figure out.
Right. I'm gonna go with Oregon State at this point. Oregon State is the new. Oh, and they replace you, by the way. What? No. Here's what happens. You guys lose to Michigan State. Oregon State and Oklahoma State play each other for the right to replace you in the big, and then you are relegated to whichever one.
And the winner of that gets to copyright the word the.
Absolutely. Disgusting. Disgusting. This is how you know a Michigan team beat, because that rat-infested, repugnant cesspool,
The
what
crack
the crack
guys.
guys, leading in the petite stuckers. You still our size and you still lose. Yeah, that is something. No, that's something we need to talk about. They stole this. I'm sorry. They accuse us of stealing the signs. They actually stole signs, passed the notes around. Like the rest of the Big Ten was passing
Oh my
notes around. They
God.
had cliff notes on Michigan signs, and nobody can win. Michigan has like a 19-game win streak in the Big. It's disgusting. It happened to Cooper's Buckeyes in '94 as well, undefeated. I hope it happens. I'm rooting for that now. Send them to the Mid-American. They're going to the MAC, bro.
No, bro. They have them play a tournament with Toledo, Ohio, Miami of
Right.
Ohio.
For the
There we
real.
go.
That would be gross, and they deserve it. All right, Lou, we got to move on, man. They better not lose that game, though. I'm serious about
Dude,
that.
if that happens, seriously, for all the Ohio State fans that come on here daily,
Yeah, I'm blocking them. I'm blocking each and every one of them, and they deserve it. I don't want to hear from an Ohio State.
We'll have to
Alabama.
have Garrison
Look at
on.
that.
If that happens,
Who's
Garrison will have to come on here and give a public
He's not allowed to come on if that happens. Oh my God.
Oh no.
He could never step. His face will never be seen again if that happens. Alabama, not Alabama, is playing at Kentucky in a game that could affect the CFP. What's your thoughts on this one, Ryan?
Give me the Wildcats. I think they get it done at the Krog.
Are you serious?
Their defense is really good, and I think Jalen Milroe still
Okay. I actually like Jalen Milroe at this point. I think he's kind of turned a corner. And I think that more so than me liking him and what he can do, I think they are utilizing what he does well really good right now. Let's move on to another game that could affect the CFP. Number 7, Texas is at TCU. You had a strong belief about this one too, right?
I have TCU in this one. Yeah, give me the Horny Frogs.
I think, by the way, I'm picking Alabama in that Kentucky game. I think Texas handles business in this one too. TCU is a different TCU than they've been the last couple of years. Give me Texas. USC in the final game that could affect the CFP between one ranked and one unranked team. USC travels to Oregon to do battle with the Ducks. Is this one even worth watching?
Hold on, let me ask my daughter. Go Ducks. All right, go Ducks. Yes, go Ducks.
All right. Yeah, I think Oregon wins this one. Oregon is playing some really good football at the moment. Give me the Ducks as well. Oregon, Texas, Bama. Justin picking Bama, picking Texas, and Oregon. Me and Justin are thinking alike, and they still got an F in class. And there's just another point filled. Cheating and knowing people's plays help so much. Why? Exactly. Yeah, it didn't work for you. All right, Brian. Final segment of the day. We've got ranked matchup pick'ems. Here we go. Number 18, Utah travels to Washington, and number 5, Huskies. The number 5 Huskies. Yep. Washington is a 9.5-point favorite. Do they win? What's your take?
Yeah, give me the Fuskies in this one.
All right. I'm also taking Washington in this one. Let us know in the comments who you think wins these matchups. Number 13, Tennessee is at number 12, Mizzou.
Exclamation
Tennessee.
Mark.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. Tennessee is a -1 point favorite on the road.
Phil was out here typing pick'ems off the Hennessy.
Fact.
Give me Mizzou in this one. Go Tigers.
All right, Mizzou. I'm also picking Missouri to win this game. They're at home. I just think they're a better team than Tennessee right now.
Plus, Joe Milton is trash.
Joe Milton is, yes. Number 9, Ole Miss is at number 2, Georgia. Georgia, 10.5-point favorite. Ryan, is that too much?
Give me the Dogs, and I don't think it is because I don't think Ole Miss is that good.
Okay.
I really don't think they're.
Let me ask you: Ole Miss plays Penn State on a neutral field. Who wins?
Penn State.
Really?
I don't think Ole Miss is that good. I think they've gotten lucky a lot this year.
Okay.
So yeah.
Penn State over Ole Miss. All right, I'm not mad at it. Finally, the last ranked pick'em. Number 3 Michigan travels to number 10 Penn State. This spread, by the way, has been going down. I think it opened at 6.5. It's down to 4.5. Ryan, what do you think?
Give me the Nittany Lions in this one. Feels like I'm speechless for a minute.
Bro, we let you up here every week for this nonsense. The Nittany Lions?
Wait, what time is the game? What time's the game?
It's at noon. It's a noon kickoff. It's at Penn State.
Damn, man. They couldn't even make this a 2:30 game. That had to be at noon. That's tough.
Right. Yeah, because Fox is greedy. They know they should have given this game to NBC and it should have been on in prime time. But
yeah, give me the Nittany Lions.
Okay. What do you think the score? What's the final score?
I think that Penn State wins 31-28.
31-28 Penn State. Here we go. Michigan, that's an easy win. I'm making money on that game for sure. I'm betting that game too. I'm betting that spread. That spread is ridiculous. We're going to smoke them. Michigan by 20, says Justin. Sabri, okay. This is his last show. Betting the kitty cats have hand-picked zebras. 35-17. Justin says Ryan's a hater. That's a fact. Hey M3, can I bet if Franklin will go for it on 4th down? fourth and 7, he runs a draw. Right up the
Well, I think Michigan will be kind of shocked that because this will be the best team that they faced. I think this will be the best defense they've faced by a mile.
Bear.
And I think Michigan will kind of be shocked at, like, oh man, we're used to running over people with ease every week. This Penn State team, they could play. Like, that's what I think.
I bet 20 Michigan wins and covers. Michigan 38, Penn State 17. I thought this game, I picked 38-20 final score for Michigan. This will be the best team they've played to this point on paper anyway. However, I'm not impressed with Drew Aller. Last week, he finally looked like a football player. I concede that, but I'm not impressed. I'm not excited. And basically, they are going to get this work.
Wait.
Hold up. He going to get this work. You going to get this work.
Otis said this same Michigan team beat Penn State 41-7. That's a different Penn State team. That's John Clifford.
Who was playing better than Drew Aller to this point?
I don't think Sean Clifford's better than Drew Aller.
I don't think he's better than Drew Aller either. I'm saying last
and
season,
I think Nicholas Singleton
he was
and
playing
Katron
better
Allen,
football.
I think Nick Singleton and Katron Allen are a lot better than they were last year. And
Why? It hasn't shown on the field.
Singleton was a true freshman last year, and he was really good.
Sure, but what I'm saying is, though I thought coming into the season they were going to be better, but it hasn't translated.
I mean, I don't know. And also that game last year was in the big house. This is at
right.
And that Penn State Michigan game was close until Michigan just kind of
no, don't do that. Actually, it was on its way to a blowout. What happened was they got a fluke pick six that made it,
Oh, was that the one where it
bounced off the helmet? Right.
And
yeah. So if it wasn't for that, it would have been a blowout way earlier than it was. To be fair, I tell you why Michigan's going to score a lot of points, because Drew can't move the ball, and your boy
Baldy Franklin is greedy as
yeah.
Damn.
So what's everybody going to say when we give them the business? It ain't going to be close, guys. Drew Aller ain't really ready.
I think you guys are sleeping on that Penn State defense.
I am sleeping. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sleeping on the defense. Let me say that. I do think that defense is legit. I like their corners, especially.
Was it Kevin King? Is that who it is? Kalen King, maybe.
Kalen King, yeah.
Dude, that dude he's a beast, man.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the big. He's no Will Johnson, but
oh, okay.
He's
Okay.
serviceable.
How is Will Johnson doing, by the way?
Will Johnson just got another pick this past week. You can't throw to Will Johnson side of the field. He allowed one. By the way, I wanted to bring this up. Did you know that your guy, the best corner in college football, has allowed 3 touchdowns this year?
Yep.
The other guy is better than him this year.
Yeah.
I mean, by PFF.
Will Johnson has not played as many games as Ben Morrison.
No, he has not. No, I wasn't even talking about Will Johnson. I was talking about your other corner, by the way.
Cam Hart. Yeah, Cam Hart has better stats than Ben Morrison.
Yeah.
Like Cam Hart hasn't given up a single touchdown this year.
Will Johnson, it's not even a question. I wouldn't even pose the question to you. I know Will Johnson's the better corner.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Stop it.
Anyway,
they'll both be first round picks in 2025, though. I'll guarantee that.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Why do you think Michigan ran for so many yards? All right, guys, we gotta get out of here. Ryan's got.
Yeah, I got my show in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and
my child is getting
got things to do.
Feisty.
A little restless. Absolutely. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to the mini Fravel. So next time, stay angry, my friends. I'm up.